Hey everyone, it's the Blabby Daddy, and I wanted to talk to you about Insurgent. Yes, we saw Insurgent. We've actually seen both films so far in like a 1 week span. We rented Divergent from Redbox. And let me start there. Divergent. If you haven't seen it, it's about a faction system where, way in the future, I believe it's 200 years in the future, the powers that be have determined that everyone should reside within a certain faction, whether it be whatever their strength is, that they are fair to judge. I guess they're equal. I guess that would be the candor people. It doesn't matter. I don't want to explain dauntless, candor, erudite, whatever it all is, but just look it up. Anyway, they go through this whole deal about splitting everyone into their different factions, and of course they have the factionless, which they portray as homeless people, and the Divergent, which don't fit into any, or they fit into too many of the factions. So it's kind of cool. There's a little bit of special effects, and we're talking about Divergent here. There's some special effects, and you can tell it was shot in Chicago. I actually saw a guy that I know on screen. He comes across, came on screen and go, oh, "There's Brian," you know. And my wife was like, "Who's Brian? What are you talking about?" But anyway, I was like, "I shot with that guy," and she didn't care. Only I cared. And but I'm sharing it with you because I want you to care. So I think that's really cool when I'm watching a film and oh, there's a person I worked with. That's always a good feeling. I do that whenever I'm watching TV and a commercial comes on. I'm like, I shot with that girl before, or I know that guy, whatever. Um, so enough about me. Back to Divergent before we talk about Insurgent. I thought the film was pretty cool because it had Shailene Woodley and the other guy from The Fault in Our Stars. And we saw that movie on Redbox, which was phenomenal, 4 of 5 stars. Highly recommend that film. It was great. It has that cool indie film. It has that cool indie feel to it, you know. So that was something we thought was cool about Divergent. We're like, oh, we like these characters. Let's watch them make a fantasy sci-fi film. And it was okay. I would give it 2.5 to 3 stars out of 5. You know, pretty good. So let's see what they're going to do with the budget. Let's go see Insurgent, and you know the sequel. So we go and we eat a great meal for our 8th wedding anniversary. We decide we're going to go to dinner and a movie. Yep, that's right. We're our 8th wedding anniversary, and we go to see basically a teenager fantasy film. Don't know why we like those types of movies. We do watch Twilight, Hunger Games, and now the Divergent series, Insurgent, whatever. Excuse me. We also like Lord of the Rings, but that's completely different. We don't like Harry Potter though. So anyway, here we are in this 600 capacity theater, and it's almost, you know, there's five. I mean, it's 90%. It's pretty full. So here, you know, big screen, you know, the big, nice, wide screen, the surround sound. We're sitting there, and we're like waiting for the movie, and it starts, and it's like, okay, it's like picking up from the very next week. Insurgent picks right up where Divergent left off, and we're like, okay, this is kind of cool. And the movie's really slow, and it really splits into. It's kind of like two separate movies. It's like the long, boring build up, and then you get. Sorry, I'm stuffy today. Forgive me. And then you get to where the excitement is supposed to be, and it's just like it falls flat. I think they missed a couple of opportunities. Um, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but after you see it, come back and comment. Tell me what you think. I think they missed a couple of opportunities for some drama and for some tension to build up. Um, you know, the character Triss, there's an opportunity where, well, you know, I don't want to spoil it for you. We could talk about it after you see it. But I think that they missed a couple of production opportunities that would have made the movie a little bit better. And then it just ends, you know, and hey, here, you know, get ready for the third one because you're all hooked by now, right? So the third one is going to be a two. I heard it's going to be a two-parter. Hopefully not, though. I mean, hopefully they'll just get it all done with Allegiant and just boom, you have 3 movies, and they sort of start here, go down a little bit, and maybe they'll crescendo and make it worthwhile. But I'm gonna have to say that the second in the series so far is not that good. It didn't, didn't live up to anything as far as I'm concerned. The hype. I guess in the trailer you see this big building, not a big building, excuse me, it's a cube building, cement, and it's just kind of floating through the air. Um, okay, that's the reason I couldn't really stand this movie, or I didn't really like it, is because you spend some time in the sim world where where Triss is, using her power, her divergent power to, go through these simulations. So the movie goes from real time into a sim, which is interesting special effects and all the CG and green screen and all that. But I think it relies too much on that and dreams, because it's like all of a sudden something weird's happening and it's like, oh, it's a excuse me, it's a dream sequence, or there's a. I think that's a cheap way to tell a story. Like you're watching, and oh, that was a dream. I mean, everybody hates that. That's cheap, and so this film is built around the idea that these people can, the Divergents can go in, get hooked up. They shoot a serum into their neck, or they hook them up to these, you know, tentacle things that just pierce them and whatever. Kind of like in Matrix, they just plug it in the back of their head. But so they just hook them up to the computer, and there's a sim, and that's how the movie can push the plot forward and fake you out and be deceptive. And I just don't like it. And I hope I'm making a good point there. But anyway, so yeah, thumbs down on Insurgent, and kind of hard to do two film review in the same video, but I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think about either one of the films. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And that's it, man. I've gone down the whole list. Tell me what you thought about it, and yeah, peace out.